Do you know what motivates you? This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, a podcast about life, looking at life from a new perspective to gain wisdom and understanding in hopes to know yourself more. I am having an extremely difficult time right now. The weather is not cooperating, and where I live, it is typically cold for the months of January, February, and March. And we do get occasional snow and we do get occasional ice. But this year, we have had an extended cold spell that is completely disrupting what feels like everybody's routine. We rarely get this amount of snow that stays around for weeks. Typically, it will melt within a few days and we can go back to normal. This year, though, it is really impacting my lifestyle. I have zero motivation to do anything. I know I have things that need to be done. I know what they are. I know where my list is. But the cold has killed every ounce of motivation in me. And I'm struggling right now because I don't really have a good tool that motivates me. And I was curious if everybody else knows what their motivation is. Typically, I'm the type of person that I am motivated by intrinsic value. I like knowing the value of something and how it's going to help me. And typically, when someone suggests me doing something different or suggests something to me, I don't always immediately just adopt whatever that is. I have a process where I have to review what it is and then determine if it's really going to impact my quality of life, impact my schedule, help me out, make me feel better. So there's a definite value stream that I have to use to approach what motivates me. Like some people are motivated by, if I do this every day for a week, then I can go buy that, or I can go buy something or go to an event. That doesn't motivate me. I'm not a person who just wants more stuff for the sake of having stuff. Again, the item needs to have value to me. But I'm really struggling this time of year. And like I said, typically these cold spells, they don't last very long. So we can kind of go back to our normal routines. I can go back to walking on a regular basis. I can just be my normal self. Because if I follow the natural cycle where I live, it's going to be up until March or February until we start unthawing and really feel like we have energy to do things. And then that's like a third of the year is already gone. And that's my struggle right now. I don't want to waste a third of my year because I can't find the motivation to push through the natural elements. Because once we get through April, then it seems like summer's here. And then before we know it, summer's gone and fall's here. And it's just time is speeding up. I'm trying to find a way to motivate myself. The old tricks aren't working. Life is about balance and following the energy and where I have a natural energy to do things. I'm aware that if I don't have enough energy to do something, at this point in my life, I don't feel like I am supposed to be pushing through. Each time I do that, I am extremely depleted at the end. And I guess I could say that I'm really struggling with just being in the moment and waiting. I'm struggling with that process. Okay, so it's cold. So I'm not going to feel like doing the things that I typically do. Why isn't that okay? Why isn't that enough for me? Instead of looking for extra motivations, instead of trying to push through, push to the other side, why am I not just okay with being in this moment, recognizing the moment for what it is, and trusting that I will have enough time to do everything that I want to do? Maybe that's where I am being nudged to look at. Maybe that's where I am supposed to be looking at within myself. And all I can say is I know I have a lot of steps that I need to do in the next 6 weeks. There's a lot of items on my checklist. And where am I going to find the energy and the motivation to do those? I don't typically like to rush around. I don't typically like to rush through a process. That doesn't feel good for me. What's funny is I was working on this podcast, I had a friend text and say, man, I just don't have any energy right now. It was 11 below this morning and I just don't want to do anything. And I found myself responding, saying, you know what? It's not just you. You're not the only one that feels like this. A lot of us feel like this. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to have so many things out of our control. And we're simply responding. We have to respond to the environment instead of initiating. Anything that I try to do right now is just going to feel harder because of the cold, because of the snow, because of the ice. Everything is going to feel harder. It's going to be harder. I can't help but think, so when do we enter the golden years? When is this going to get easy? When is this going to get fun? That's the path I want to be on. I want the easy way. I want the fun. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to move for that. I think I'm going to have to move where the weather is nicer more days out of the year. I hope you find the motivation you're looking for. Just know that it's probably not going to happen for me today. And I am going to spend some time here this afternoon finding stupid memes, sharing those with friends, and just waiting for tomorrow. Thank you for listening to this podcast of Tracy Talks. Please like and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. And until next time, we meet again.